Hi, Kyle.
How are you, Andy?
Yeah, good, thanks.
It's a really big honor to talk to you. I've been a fan for a long time, and I really love this new record, Spirit.
Thank you.
You guys have outdone yourself once again, and at this point in the game, that is always impressive.
We try our hardest. Yeah.
And let's start with the obvious things. I know what everyone's saying about this record, with it being sort of, the political side of things, even though I know it wasn't completely written with that in mind. But given the content, did you all know what you were going to be, singing about, talking about, relating about when you went into the sessions in the first place?
Yeah, I think we thought that the political situation was pretty bad. But then, of course, we didn't know what was coming. So we've released this record now, and you've got Brexit in Britain, you've got Trump as president. The situation politically is much worse, really, than when we were writing the album.
Do the songs change for you after the election, the way it went? Because obviously, when we heard it as fans, that's the first things that we thought of, even though these songs were written long before that. Did they change for you as well?
No, they didn't. I mean, to be fair, Trump had just announced his candidacy when Martin was writing, although he never thought that Trump would actually win it. We've done an album like this before, our third album, Construction Time Again. And, we write songs in general about politics, but we usually use analogies like sex or religion, to get the message across, when this is a lot more direct.
I mean, especially, the first time I heard of it, you hear a song like Scum, and, it's like there is no hiding what we're talking about here, and geez, you can just go down most of the track list and you don't even have to hear the song, just looking at the lyrics themselves. It is your most direct album that I can recall ever, which is
it's good that, when we're sort of in our 50s, when we should be relaxing, and we've always written songs about the world we live in. And like I say, this is a bit more direct. It's pretty much carries on from what we've been doing all our career.
With Dave and Martin living in the U.S., you're still in England, right?
Yeah.
So they're seeing it from the American side, and you're seeing it from, I guess, the Brexit side and the Britain side. And
well, they were very angry about Brexit as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, and I was too, and I've never been there.
Yeah. Yes, Dave is much more political in America than he was in England, and Martin as well, I think, is definitely more political than he was in England. Brexit, if you remember that it was virtually a 50% vote, it's crazy that a major constitutional change should be made, by 100,000 votes,
I do get it, though. With art, I would feel, and I haven't been a musician for a while now, it seems like you need a stone to push against. And while none of us would wish this would happen on the world, it seems like it does allow for you guys to push up against something to get the best art. And maybe your producer, I know, working with James Ford, did he offer some of that too, giving you a bit of a challenge?
Well, James and myself were slightly worried in the beginning with the song content, the political aspects. Mm-hmm. But, as we recorded, the situation was evolving all the time. So we swung round to actually thinking, this is the right way to go.
Yeah. What were your concerns?
Well, when sometimes you get bands that are political bands, you've got to be very careful that you're not stung. I think why we can get around it is because it's not as if every one of our albums is like this, So it's a real surprise.
It's also nice how it's worded, because it's almost like a question with a lot of these things, a challenge even. It's not that you guys are so much planting the flag down, although, again, I'll reference Scum maybe as a time you are, but a lot of, like, where's the revolution, Like, I understand, like, that's...
it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. We don't expect a revolution. It's just a bit of tongue-in-cheek.
Other songs on here, too, like No More, one of my favorites from the record, really feels like it has that classic Depeche Mode sound.
That is the more classic Depeche Mode on that track.
How did that one come about, and is there any story behind it for yourself too?
Not really. It's one of Dave's songs. You know, he came in with a few demos, and that was changed quite a lot from his original demo. And his two other songs on the album, Poison, was just the same as the demo, really. You know, but Cover Me, that really changed a lot. That's one of my favourite songs on the album.
I was actually going to ask if there were any real standout moments from the sessions for you.
I really like Scum. It's the weirdest rhythm. In fact, we're not playing it live because we're not sure if it can be played live.
It's a shame.
It's some weird beat.
Speaking of the tour, what are the preparations like for this tour? I mean, what are the plans going like?
We don't know what's next week. When we go to Stockholm, we'll actually see the set for the first time and see all the films that Anton Corbijn has been making. We put 100% trust in him.
Wow, that is a lot of trust.
So it's going to be like the unveiling. I always tell a similar story one of our earlier tours when we were doing our production rehearsals in Pensacola, and when we walked in, all the lights were on, and our stage set looked like Stonehenge in Spinal Tap.
Let's hope the rest of that doesn't play.
There's always that fear when we walk in next week into the venue in Stockholm that we will get the same shock.
Hopefully it doesn't play out like the rest of that movie. What about yourself personally? I mean, you've been touring most of your life at this point, but I know as you get older, it changes the preparations. Do you have to go through any rigorous workouts, campaigns for yourself?
Well, funny you should say that. I've lost about 30-odd pounds, and I didn't do that for the tour. I just started walking every morning for about 4 or 5 miles, so I'm in pretty good shape.
Wow. Congratulations.
The other guys are very fit as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice place to be right there.
But, as you get older, traveling around does become a bit harder. The concerts are fine. So you really have to be. In the days when we used to party all the time, you couldn't do that now and give 100% performance.
So thank goodness you've got to jump on it as it goes. Well, again, I seriously love this record. It is up there, probably a top 5 Depeche Mode record for me. I love that you guys are doing it. Not every band is able to pull this off. What do they say? Art, you get 10 good years in art, and you guys have far exceeded that. So,
yeah, it's a complete dream come true for us. We only expected to be around for a few years, and here we are now, still making good music. We've got lots of fans out there waiting for us. It's a great feeling.
Well, I'm appreciative of it as well. And I'll say in closing, apropos to none of that, once a year, I love to go to YouTube and watch the TV performance of Just Can't Get Enough when you all were just kids. And it makes me so happy every time I see that.
Can I just point out that in those videos just started, and no one really knew what to do with them. And we were only about 18 or 19 at the time.
Oh, you can tell. I mean, you look 14 and 15. So
yeah. That's one of the better ones, early ones.
Oh, it really is a joy to watch. It really is.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate the call. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.